you for another episode of your ALG Weekly. A lot of y'all was waiting for the show yesterday, but because Colorado gives it today, Tuesday, December 8th, we decided to move it to this day. And as I always say on this show, we bring on community leaders. And today we have no other than the man himself, Mr. Papa Dia, founder and executive director of the African Leadership Group and former host of the ALG Weekly. Good morning, Papa.
Good morning, Amadou. You got to let people know that you fire me from my own show. That's how you should really, don't tell like formal host of the ALG Weekly. I was fired by somebody that hijacked my position and now sitting over there looking so good and dapper and having me on the other side. So it's truly an honor to be with you, Amadou, this morning on a very important day for many reasons.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Papa, for joining us. Today is Colorado Gives Day. It is a day where Coloradans give and support the organizations that are in their local communities. And they give and support because those organizations are making impact and working within the communities that they live in. And the African Leadership Group is an organization that has been participating in the Colorado Gives Day, but has also been around for a number of years now and has been making impact and supporting especially the African immigrant communities, but also just the populations within the areas that we serve. But before we go into the African Leadership Group, as the founder of the organization, I think people would like to know you a little bit more. Also, definitely because your story is tied to what the African Leadership Group is and how it was designed and what it has come to be. So, Papa, who is Papa Dia?
Yes, thank you, Amadou. And I want to start by echoing what you said when it comes to this very important day, Colorado Gives Day. And to answer your question, Papa, you know, they're the person I thought that I was before. That is completely different to the person that I am today. And I am the person I am today because of the community that I am part of. So I'm not going to give you the definition of Papa because of what I thought, but I'm going to give you the definition of who I think I am today because of the community that made me stronger. So Papa is a community leader that is very passionate about the community that it serves. And I'm very blessed to be in the position that I am because I get to interact and mingle with people from different backgrounds, not only from Africa, because I like to echo the fact that even though our organization name is African Leadership Group, but it's mainly focused on human beings. And the person I am today is the person that represents human beings, people from different backgrounds, people from different society, different culture, and that showcase the organization we are part of. And I just want to add the fact that we are all stronger together and we all can have an impact in the community when we come together to serve. And if you haven't had a chance to do so, today is another day where you could do that by really supporting any organization you feel affiliated with, either that's the African Leadership Group, either that's any other organization. Colorado Gives Day is a day you can come forward and support the organization. But Papa is just blessed to be part of a very strong community that's striving day in and day out, where we are always looking to have impact in each other's life. And I'm just blessed to be in the community that I am in.
Yes, thank you. It is truly a blessing to be part of this big community that is continually growing, and it is also a thriving community. So as Papa said, it is Colorado Gives Day and coloradogives.org. The website is on the description. Also, the direct link to donate to the African Leadership Group is also on that description. So if you want to either go to coloradogives.org and donate to an organization, it is easy. If you also want to donate to the African Leadership Group, that second link is right there, and that link will take you directly to the page to donate to the African Leadership Group. But as we talk about the African Leadership Group, how did the African Leadership Group come about? Because you have not talked about it, but Papa is a well-rounded. Papa is Papa was a banker, actually a well-known banker who did really well in his career. How do you go from banking to nonprofit, right? Especially how did you come up with the idea, or how did you see the need of creating such an organization?
Yeah, Amadou, you're asking very good question. And the reason that it's a very good question, I just want to start by saying, whoever we are, wherever we are, just know that we are gifted with talent. And some of us, we know about it, and some of us, we don't know about it. And I was one of those that has some talent that I was not aware. And when I started working at the bank, you know, it was the first time I was in an environment where people were recognizing some of the talent that I have and were really commenting on it. People were telling me, oh, you have people skills, you have sales skill. Because for me, it was all about the normal way of life, because I grew up in an environment where everything you had, you have to share it. You know, naturally, you have to support each other. And, you know, as a simple fact that if you look in our culture as African, when we eat meals, we could be 10 to 15 around the same bowl where we're all putting our hands and sharing meal. So for us, it's a normal way of life. So I came to the United States with that mindset of sharing and caring. And without knowing, in a society like the American society, it's a gift and a talent. So, but in my banking career, and that's how everything evolved, and people start recognizing some of the talent and some of the gift. And I start helping people within the bank, people that needed to open a bank account, people that needed to have a car loan, people that needed to have a business loan. And that's how everything evolved. I got to recognize the fact that I had no idea about what nonprofit organization mean. I had no idea about community gathering. But later down the road, I got surrounded by people that were just genuine, very genuine of helping me sharpen those skills, helping me put all these things, organize it in a way where today we can sit here and talk about the African Leadership Group. But I will not end this without saying that the African Leadership Group is what it is today because there's so many hands, there's so many amazing mindset, so many people that put their hands, their ideas together. That's why we are such a vibrant organization, because the whole community see themselves and identify themselves on what we do. So thank you to everybody that's participating on the evolution of the African Leadership Group.
Thank you, Papa, for that answer. I also want to thank Vincent Klaus, who's watching us on Facebook and commenting. I also want to thank Eve Lee, who's currently watching us on Facebook, who's a member of the ALG team. But let's talk about where you ended, which is what ALG has become, what ALG has now come to represent. We've successfully been able to turn ALG into this platform where the community can now come to us for resources, but also where we can go ahead and make sure that the resources that the community needs are available, and that when they come, that we are able to help them. But I assume that it was not like that since the creation. I assume that the road to this was not easy. How was the process of growth?
Well, as you can imagine, for the first 13 years, we run ALG without funding. Okay, it was, and you could imagine running a nonprofit organization while you're doing a full-time job and raising a family of 3. So it was challenging. However, I believe that when you do something that you are very passionate about, all challenges become opportunity. So I can tell you comfortably that I'm sitting here, and if it was not the challenge that I went through, I would not become the person that I am today. So I am saying this to say, whoever that's out there that are looking to do things and you are running into roadblock, embrace them as opportunity, because that's the only way we can become stronger. So ALG is stronger today because of all the challenges that we went through. And I was very patient through the process, because sometimes when you want things faster than they need to happen, that's when you can run into difficult challenges. So be patient. We were very patient with building ALG, as we are still patient about putting it together. But the thing that's most exciting about is all the other people that are involved in the journey. And Amadou, you can talk about all the committees that we have, all the expertise that we have. So for me, I want to say that as an organization, as a leader of this organization, we always make room and space for other people because we need everybody's expertise and involvement. And we are very grateful to have those people that we have serving. And those challenges now, we talk to them, we talk about them as opportunities. That's what making ALG the vibrant organization it is today.
Thank you. And indeed, ALG is a vibrant organization. I can attest to that, having been around for about a year now. But as you were talking about earlier, there is a lot of initiatives that we do have, and if let's say somebody who maybe is not familiar with the organization and was to come and ask you, well, Papa, what do you do? What really does the African Leadership Group do? What would be your answer to that question?
Well, the simple answer is we are here to serve the community. So wherever the community needs the organization to be, the organization will be there. And there's so many examples I can mention. When we started, we did not have committees, but anytime there's an issue that was brought up to us, we figure out a way to put a committee together. So the organization exists to serve the community, and everything we do is things that serve the community. And that's how we have the legal clinic, the business, the woman empowerment, public speaking, leadership Africa, youth empower. I can go on and on and on, but the simple answer is the African Leadership Group is here to serve the community. So wherever there's needs to better our community, the African Leadership Group will be right there and then. But another thing, we are not interested to do these things alone. We are interested to reach out to people that have expertise because I don't know it all. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an expert on a lot of things. We always reach out to other members of the community that have expertise in specific area to serve the community. And if you want to know, that has been the secret sauce of the African Leadership Group.
Yes, definitely. And I think there are two things. That means, first of all, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. We have the expertise within our community, but also we have the partnership outside of this community and people who have been working with the community that have been helping us. The other thing is, as you just said, we are here to serve the community. And so everything we do is basically dictated by the needs that we see in the community. Every initiative, every committee that is set and put together is because the need has been identified within the community. But when we talk about the African Leadership Group, there's always three pillars that we like to bring with. We talk about social, we talk about education, and we talk about economic. Why are those three pillars? And the magic word, impact.
You know, Amadou, I'm just so happy to hear you talk about these three pillars better than I can. And it tells me that what we're doing is right, because when you put something together and you see the next generation or the future generation or people that are involved in the organization that can articulate the things better than you can do, it tells you that you're doing the right thing. You know, actually the three pillars kind of from the beginning, it caused us some issue because, you know, most of the funders, they like it usually when you just focus on one specific thing. But as African immigrant, all our issues are related. they tie together. For example, I cannot talk to a family about educational impact if they cannot keep roof over their head or they can put food on the table. So social, educational, and economic impact, those are the three pillars that we strongly believe if we address those three pillars, we address all the needs of our community. And if we want to do well in education, we have to be economically strong. We have to be socially strong. If we want to be economically strong, we need to make sure that we are well educated. It's possible if you put together a varied group of people with different expertise. It kind of caused us some issue, but we stood our ground and tell people this is the thing that we believe in. If you want to fund us, fine. If you don't want to fund us, that is okay. We're still going to pursue because we are here only for the agenda of our community. And I think today we proved everybody that we were right on our approach. And we are very grateful for some of the funders that believe in us early on to support us. So today we can sit here and say, we really have big impact on the three pillars. And impact is a simple word. You cannot go wrong with the word impact. because whatever you do in life, you want to have a positive result. You want to have an impact. So impact is a key word that when we were putting together the vision and the mission of the African Leadership Group, the people that were around the table brainstorming, today they can sit back and be very pleased about their involvement, especially around the word impact and the three pillars.
Great. And that brings me to my next question, which is impact. And we've been talking about the African immigrant community. So Africa Impact. ALG has been going on, has existed for some years before Africa Impact came in, and now it is seen as the sub-brand or pretty much the definition of or the celebration of everything that the African Leadership Group does. How did Africa Impact came about, and what's the idea behind it?
Yeah, I want to start by saying we got to recognize the fact that we live in a very isolated community, in a very isolated world. And what I mean by that is, as African immigrant, we live in isolation. The Hispanic live in isolation. So we never had a platform that bring all of us together. Mm-hmm. And the reality is, as African immigrant, we've been labeled. We've been labeled for quite some time for beggars, for takers, and nobody celebrated and recognized the fact that as African immigrant, we own home. As African immigrant, we own businesses. As African immigrant, we pay taxes. As African immigrant, we really contribute to the development of this country. So we know that the Hispanic, they have Cinco de Mayo. The Asian, they have date and month that's dedicated to them. But we never had anything that was dedicated to the African immigrant. And again, Africa Impact came about because of a lot of bright ideas and genius people that came around, again, because here at the African Leadership Group, everything we do it comes from great ideas and great people that come together and brainstorm. Back then, at the time, we realized that if we're going to celebrate our community, it has to start with us. If you want people to celebrate and recognize the impact that we have, we need to be the first one that start doing it. That's how Africa Impact came about, where we wanted to celebrate proudly and loudly the impact of African immigrants are having in the state of Colorado. Now, it was a dream when we start talking about it 7 years ago. Nobody believed, nobody knew what we were talking about, but we just stood our ground. And as typical African leadership group, as typical African immigrant, we just pushed through today, having 2 years in the row, the governor of Colorado to issue a proclamation to make the month of August the African Immigrant Month. It tells us who we are as a community. It showcases also the impact we have in the state of Colorado. And there's more years to come. We need to keep celebrating this. And the next step will be to have it part of a legislature recognized at the state capitol, where we can have officially the month of August as the African Immigrant Month.
Yes, thank you. And having the month of August as the African Immigrant Month is definitely, it is definitely a stamp on the work and the impact that our community has had on this state. But it is also a recognition of the work that the African Leadership Group has had, and how African Leadership Group has been able to support the African immigrant community, but also to stand up for our community whenever the need has come. Because sometimes, because the African Immigrant Month could have happened without the African Leadership Group, but as an organization, you have to have done something and have to have done it really good to be able to implement and have such great ideas, but also be able to implement them and see them come to fruition. But let's talk about the year 2020.
Yes.
We started 2020 excited. I remember at this time last year, we were thinking about having the biggest Africa Impact. But COVID happened. February, we started working home. We found ourselves having to deviate online, converting a lot of our programs to via Zoom. But also we found ourselves in a situation where, because the need was so great, we have to take on a lot more responsibility and things that we probably never thought we would take on as a nonprofit organization. How has 2020 been for the African Leadership Group?
2020 has been a year for everybody else that we will all face challenging and we struggle. But as an organization, as a community, as I mentioned earlier, we're the type of organization that every challenge is, we turn it into opportunity. This is what we do. We know that we live in an evolving society, in an evolving world, that things are going to happen. But our responsibility as leaders is to take the challenges and turn them into opportunities. So I'm not sitting here to tell you that 2020 hasn't been challenging, but we are grateful that we embrace it the way we did and were able to do what we have done. So we did not sit back and declare ourselves victim. We did not sit back and declare ourselves defeated. In fact, we stood up, and I want to thank the entire team at the African Leadership Group. I want to thank all the volunteers and our board of directors and committee members, and the list goes on, where we were able to really maximize everything that Zoom has to offer, and carry on all our program. And so I'm grateful for 2020 because it made us stronger, and we were able to have African impact. We were able to still carry on our public speaking class, and most importantly, what we were able to do when it comes to our tutoring program and helping our kids when it comes to the education online. So for me, I mean, it's just amazing what we were able to do and continue doing, and we are ready. And I know 2021 going to be an amazing year. But I want to thank everybody that believe into the work that the African Leadership Group is doing and continue to do, for supporting us to embrace all the things that Zoom has to offer and the social media has to offer, so we can carry on and do our work.
Yes, yes, thank you. And we've offered free COVID testing. We've offered free flu shot, the online schooling support, which now we have kids here at the African Leadership Group office, and these are kids who are having problems at home, whether it is with internet or who are just having language barrier problems, because most oftentimes their parents have to work, and so parents have to choose between either going to work or staying at home, or even some parents, even if they were to stay home, do not understand enough English to be able to help these kids with their English classes or their math classes. And so being able to provide that platform is, I can tell you, just being here every single day and seeing these kids and them being able to do their work and pass their classes, it's great. But we would not be able to do that without the support of the community, and all the organizations that we work with. How has it been? Because I know for a fact that to run an organization, you really have to have a lot of support, and that's not just financial, but sometimes even just a phone call of thank you for what you're doing can help a lot. How did you feel, or how have you felt the support of the community throughout this year?
Amadou, also I want to mention about the meal delivery that we've been doing and continue of doing. And for me, I want to send a message out there to everybody. When you think that African can come together, I'm going to tell you on this platform that you are wrong. African know how to come together. African know how to support each other. African, in our culture, we embrace each other, and we embrace people from different backgrounds. For me, I felt, I was not surprised, Amadou, seriously, to have this support from our community. But what I like and enjoy the most is to have it in such an organized way, because sometimes everybody want to help, but people don't know how to go about it. We all have different talent, different expertise, but ALG was able to put things together that people will use based on where they have their passion, based on where they have their skill set. So for me, that's what really overwhelmed me with joy and gratitude, because we have people, they like, they are nurses, and that's the beauty of having different committees. And we have the health and wellness committee that put together the flu shot clinic, that put together the free COVID tests. We have people in the business committee that help, especially during the critical time of PP loan, making sure that community members that are business owners have access to the PP. I mean, the list go on and on, but I felt overwhelmed how things were organized, how things were delivered, and the community knowing exactly where they need to go in order to get help. I wouldn't end without saying kudos to the legal clinic committee that does the monthly legal clinic on a monthly basis, that people know exactly if I have any issue, any question with legal, I know exactly where to go. I mean, the list goes on and on. So Amadou, I was just overwhelmed to see how organized the support was and continue to be. And we are all grateful for everybody that contribute and help make our community stronger and better.
Yes, indeed. We are truly grateful, Papa. We are grateful to have you as a leader and to be able to work with you and to be able to make an impact within our community. But we are also grateful for all the community members, all the support that we get from our funders, from our community, but also from other organizations that have given us the opportunity to work with them to make resources and funds available for our community. But 2020 is coming to an end, and we are now talking about 2021. How exciting will be 2021, and what will ALG be what has ALG has in store for the year 2021?
Well, you got to look at it this way. As challenging 2020 was, and look at what ALG was able to get done. And now knowing 2021, the vaccine is out, we're going to get to our normal life. That should be sufficient for everybody to be excited and look forward to 2021. All I can tell you is get ready. 2021 going to be one of those years that's going to be going down on history, that's going to be going down on the book. The team has been working, the community has been working, and I can tell you that we already have the calendar and the agenda for 2021 ready. We already have Africa Impact ready. Everything is already ready and calendar out. So if you want to be involved, please reach out to ALG. Go to our website, register yourself as a volunteer, because we can use everybody's help, we can use everybody's support, because there's a lot that needs to be done. But again, we always got to focus on the education of our children. That's what worries me the most. That's what keeps me awake at night. We know that our children did not get a proper year of schooling. We know that we have a lot of children that were reading at grade level before the pandemic. Now they're all reading below their level. Same thing with math, same thing with science. That worries me when they go back to school, what's going to happen. So that we really need to be mindful and cautious about it. Even though the summer, they're going to be out of school, we need to figure out how do we ramp up our tutoring program? How do we identify the kids that need help so we can help them? We can have all this success, but if we're not preparing the future generation to be successful, we fail them and we fail ourselves. So for me, those are the things that we need to be mindful. If you're out there and you are passionate about helping kids, you are passionate about education of our children, just know that the African Leadership Group and the community need you more than ever. So we can be ready for an amazing 2021 in all aspects of life.
Yes, and that is definitely right, and that is one of the reasons why we have implemented the ALG tutoring, and within that program, not only do we help the kids, but we also need help from people who have the expertise. If you want to tutor in English, you want to tutor in math, or if there is anything that you want to tutor on, or you're a student in college trying to graduate and want to get some hours, you are saying you're in high school and want to get some community hours, the African Leadership Group is open. Please come and help us make sure that we help these kids get back to school, and that when they do get back to school, that they're actually, if they're not ahead, that they're actually not lagging or reading behind their grade, or having to retake some classes. But as we said earlier in the show, today is December 8th. It is Colorado Gives Day. We've talked about a lot of the programs that we have here at the African Leadership Group. We've talked about the success that we've had, but we also know that none of that would be possible without the support of the community, without the support of our funders and the people who give for us to be able to make the impact that we want to make. Last call, what would you tell people, and why is it important for people to donate, not only to the African Leadership Group, but to any organization that they feel that they're affiliated to, or that they feel is doing great work in their communities?
Yeah, and I've said this from the beginning. We are stronger together, and there's so many different ways that we all can have an impact and contribute. Some of us need to be on the ground volunteering. Some of us need to be volunteering, tutoring. Some of us need to make a small contribution, and no amount is too small. No amount is too large. Even a $5, a $1, whatever it is. I think for me, what's important the most is a gesture, the gesture of contributing, and you feel like you have an impact. So my call to everyone out there that's listening, please, and I'm not just talking about supporting the African Leadership Group, I'm talking about supporting any organization out there that you feel that you are affiliated somehow. If you can give $1, great. If you can give $5, great. If you can give $100 or more, great. But please, please pledge your donation, pledge your contribution, because these organizations are all involved in making our community and our lives better. So Colorado Gives Days is very important, December 8th. Please pledge in your contribution, and so we can all come tomorrow and celebrate and share with you how much money we were able to raise, and what those money going to be used for. And you can see the impact you're having in all different programs that we run at the African Leadership Group. So Amadou, and this is what I want to say. I need help. I don't know if any of you have seen it where you've been fired on your own show, okay, and really be invited as a guest and try to rub it on your face. So I want this to go on the record. So Amadou, that you see out there as a host, fire me on my own show and bringing me back, try to have me as a guest. But I mean, seriously, you're doing a great job, and the community and the African Leadership Group, we are just blessed to have you involved, and seeing you do something that you are very passionate about, that you love, and it's truly an honor. And I think that, and also to let people know, this weekly show is open to everybody. Yes. If you are interested in contributing, reach out to Amadou, reach out to the African Leadership Group, because this is the platform we created to be the voice for the community. So please, if you have anything that's burning that you want to share, we would love to have you so you can share it and the community can benefit from it.
Thank you, Papa. And I would just like to clear that he was not fired; he was promoted as executive producer. So he is now the producer of the show.
You fired me.
But it's been great catching up with you, Papa. We've now come to the end of the show. Again, I would just like to remind people, if you do want to donate or you do want to go to the Colorado Gives, it is coloradogives.org. And if you want to donate to the African Leadership Group, we have the link, the direct link to the African Leadership Group donating page, linked to this live video. And so you can just click on that and go there, or you can go to coloradogives.org and type in African Leadership Group, and you will be able to see our organization and donate to us. Or you can type in any other organization that you want to donate to, and you'll be able to see their page and be able to donate to them. Papa, we've come to the end of the show. What is your last word to the community and people who are watching us right now?
Yeah, my last word to the community, just everybody be safe and sound out there. It looks like we are getting to the second wave of the pandemic. Colorado has been impacted, so everybody just be safe and practice all the social, physical distancing, wearing your mask. We are almost through these things. Hopefully the vaccine will get to Colorado and people will get vaccinated and we can get back to our normal life. But in the meantime, let's just be cautious and keep supporting each other. There's still a lot of family out there that are struggling, that need help when it comes to meals, that need help when it comes to a lot of things. Let's just keep doing what we've been doing as a community, supporting one another. But again, today is Colorado Gives Day. That's another way to have an impact and make a difference in your community. Visit the Colorado Give page /US ALG. Amadou will share the page, and go and donate to ALG or donate to any other organization that you support. And together we can have an impact in our community. So thank you, Amadou. It was truly a pleasure and an honor to be with you, and look forward to an amazing end of the year, and 2020-21 will be better. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa, and thank you everyone for watching us today. As you've heard, 2020 was full of challenges, but we can say despite all those challenges, that 2020 has been yet our most impactful year again, but our work is not done. For us to continue to support our community, we will need your support, and it is only with your support that we can do that. So please head on to coloradogives.org and donate to the African Leadership Group. It is coloradogives.org/USALG, and you can donate to the African Leadership Group. With that, we will see you next Monday with another community leader and other resources. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Amadou.